contribute to this community. I think, especially for you, I would like to know your advice and input to so many of us who are in transition, because you have worked in education, you've worked in airline components, so many things. I think it would be wonderful if you could share with us, how we weather all these personal, right, and professional transitions that we see.
I have no advice.
That is all though.
Put one foot forward and keep going. I've never been educated for anything I've done. That's the first thing. Don't be afraid. Just do it. If you have a passion and you see a door open and you feel like going through it, go through it. When I returned to education at the age of 60, I said to my daughter, who's sitting over there, I said, what am I doing? At my age, I'm going back to school. And she said, well, you'd be that age anyway. With everything. My advice is simply just keep going and have faith. Faith is everything for me, and I think for almost everyone. You have to have faith in yourself and a passion for what you want to do. You have to believe in something, and I happen to believe in something bigger than I am, and that I think has helped me all through life. Other than that, I don't think there's anything that you can do other than to keep going. Believe in yourself and just keep one foot in front of the other. I've known that I live a very simple life, and everything that I've done is very simple. As I said, I've never been educated for everything that I've done. When I was president of the museum, I certainly wasn't educated to do that. And I'm selling airplane parts, good grief. And just grab on and think that you, well, I don't know. You just walk in the door and you keep going. And nobody, don't let anyone stop you. Don't even think about it. You just go ahead. If that's the advice, that's it.
Thanks, Kathy, for including me in this amazing project and opportunity. As you heard, I'm a pediatrician by training. The new subtitle I put on my business card is Connector of Dots, because it's somewhat hard to explain when someone asks where my practice is and I no longer see patients. But I've spent a lot of time over the last almost 30 years, first practicing pediatrician, early educator. I've now written 7 children and parenting books. In part, I got started in the parenting world in terms of a much broader space because I had the opportunity to work with Dr. Spock before he died, and then co-founded the Dr. Spock company in the late 90s. But my passion, and what I've always aimed towards, is I love children. And when I say that, I also have to always qualify myself. I love children, which means families, which means communities, and I can get to anything from financial literacy to climate change to you name it, but to make the world a better place and to maximize every child's potential. And so in a variety of capacities, I started picking up insights and knowledge across a lot of what has seemed and is increasingly seeming like very siloed areas, with the recognition that we all are talking about some very core fundamental things that we all care about, but we use different language and don't realize it. So my current work, I recently, a year ago, wrote a book called The Toddler Brain, Nurture the Skills Today That Will Shape Your Child's Tomorrow. What I did is I said, we're talking about skills like passion, and it's not just getting the right answer, but asking good questions, and the relationships matter, and all these things that sort of got discounted, and a lot of times they tend to be traits associated more with women than men. And I said, what if I took these skills, and I was spending enough time in places like Silicon Valley and in the business world, said, these are the skills everybody wants, future workforce, 21st century skills, innovation, entrepreneurship. And to kind of bring that point home, I got the founder of LinkedIn to endorse this set of skills, saying these are the skills everybody needs to succeed. And I said, now let me show you what they look like in the first 5 years. Here are the developmental milestones. Here's what you can do to cultivate them. Here's what we're not doing to cultivate them. And oh, by the way, And this is where my passion really kicked in. For all the things I was doing, I stopped doing a lot of it to focus on the fact that we also now know that it is very predictable, not 100%, that you can predict a child's future life outcome by the zip code they're born in. And to me, I couldn't live with that concept, and I thought I have to jump into this much broader space. Because we know that what happens in early childhood doesn't stay in early childhood. I'm now committed, and in whatever way I need to, so as Paxi mentioned the picture here, this is me at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which is not somewhere I ever thought I would find myself doing a keynote. I write books about like potty training and brushing your teeth and things like that. But I could give the same talk there about 21st century skills. I called them key skills, but QI, like chi, as in positive life force. And then the soft, non-cognitive, other skills that people have long discounted as not being important, especially in the business world. And they said, these are the skills we all want, here's how the world changed, so we know that, and now we all better be paying a whole lot more attention to early childhood and investing, and especially back to this idea of faith and hope. The last chapter of the book, I said key for all, because if I convince you that the single most important thing in developing these skills is a caring, responsive adult, parent, grade, teacher, grade, coach, mentor, somebody, clergy, you need to have a caring, responsive adult in your life, then what does it mean for the children who don't have that? And that's my passion, and that's the message I'm trying to get out, and it's across all sectors, so I welcome anybody to join me in that.
Well, it's a challenge to be the last one. I never did a speed dating ever, so it's the first time. So I just have to first thank you, Paxi, for inviting me to be part of this amazing project. I really feel flattered to be among all these incredible women with this incredible job. I really feel like a man in the middle of all of them. We still have a lot of work to do in what we're doing now in our university. Our family have 2 universities in Brazil, and we realize what a powerful tool we have actually to support young people to actually change this world. So we're not so much concerned about only teach them about being a good professional. We have been investing a lot in technology and innovation, but how can we actually develop what she was saying about the 21st skills that everybody has to have, not only students, but actually professors too. So we do have a lot of work and challenge with professors, the new way of teaching, of collaborating with the students, how to teach and share the values about being a human being. And a lot of programs that we have been developing with them, where you have peer-to-peer support between students, where we have one example is a YouTube channel where the students are talking about the problems that they face during the 5 years that they are studying with us. How do we expose them to projects like we did with Impact Mania, where they were searching about social business in Brazil, and they created a video that was exposed on Impact Mania. How do we promote volunteer work for them? How they have to go outside of the classroom to make mistakes, to learn from them, and actually develop the emotional intelligence, which they have to be. They have to develop resilience, they have to be self-awareness, I think is a really good skills, and that's why meditation and therapy and everything is necessary. So what we're doing now is like creating this group of staff along with students to actually create this journey of our students during these 5 years, where they actually will be not only a good professional, but actually a good citizen. So this is what we're doing.
So thank you, panel. And as they return to their seats, I will call up the next 6, and you will read their backstory in the book, of course, and you can talk to them later. Their stories will be out online as well, so you can ask questions, email and online. I just quickly want to, we only just have an hour and a half. Here from Massachusetts, Jean Kilmore. Thank you for being here, Jean. He is a filmmaker, for her decades-long work on women portrayed in advertising. I'd love to hear more about that. Elisa Swartz is here from New York City. Elisa is an artist and a scholar, and she's still a teaching fellow at the Whitney Museum, so go to New York with the museum. Elisa will be there. She just finished her solo show, right? We'll hear more about that. Teresa Hurd is here from Silicon Valley. Welcome, Teresa. Teresa just got off of her sabbatical.
I had to put shoes on.
She put shoes on for you, ladies and
Or
gentlemen.
flip-flops or no shoes.
You were in India, right?
No, Indonesia.
Indonesia. Teresa Hurd is the Vice President of Global Creative Direction for the Intel Corporation, and you have all seen her work. A few years back, she and her team worked with Lady Gaga and her team in devising the Super Bowl halftime show with all the drones, right? And the Olympics? Yeah, so you have seen her work, and she does a lot of side projects too, like she has time at her hand, right? Carla Delandry is here from New York